Hi Sagittarius, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your year of predictions, tarot and oracle card reading for the year of 2024. This is a reading for all Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. We are going to get right into it. What advice do you have for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? For the year ahead, please, what does Sagittarius need to know for the year of 2024, please? All right, if you don't mind hitting the like button, I always appreciate that. It helps so people will see this reading, especially because it's on a Tuesday this week. We're going to go month by month here, okay? So we start off here with January with the Queen of Swords, February, the Seven of Pentacles. March brings in the Ten of Swords. April brings in the King of Pentacles. Into May, you've got the Nine of Cups. I like it when these two show up right next to each other. June has the Star because they're both wish fulfillment. You have the Sun in July. Into August, we've got the Five of Pentacles. September brings out the Hierophant. October brings out the Chariot. We've got the Ace of Cups in November, and the Devil ends the year out in December there. And we also, on the bottom three as clarifiers, we have the Empress, the Eight of Swords, and the Four of Cups. Well, I feel like they're telling you it's time to take action. This will be a year of big action, especially the summer months look fantastic. May, all the way really through getting into the winter even here in November. We are going to take a Moonology card as well here to get an overarching or overriding theme here for the year. You have here, last quarter moon in Leo, lighten up, okay? You know, somebody taking life too seriously? Come on, I can't imagine that would be so. All right, so with the Queen of Swords here in January, I feel like they're saying it's time to make a decision. You could even throw this in here too. That Queen of Swords, though, she knows where she's been. She's not here to make the same mistake twice. So I definitely feel like if you're not getting offers that you want, you may have to expand maybe your geographic location. If you're looking for housing, you might have to look and expand a bit more. Or if you are looking for a job, there may be something about that too. Opening up your lens a bit is what I hear with that. Now, the Queen of Swords, too, in terms of relationships, does not settle. She is the widow of the tarot. So if you've had a relationship that was lost, and I'm talking some heartache, some heartbreak, or even if it truly is in terms of being a widow or a widower, but I do feel like they're saying not to settle here. But I also want to say, too, with that Eight of Swords, there may be someone right underneath your nose. There may be somebody who's nearby that it's just about, like I said, mixing it up a little bit more, getting yourself into new circles, meeting new people. With February, you've got this harvest season. Now, these two together, the Empress brings in creativity, she brings in love, and she brings in, too, an atmosphere of feeling supported. So I do feel like you have nice aspects in money in February, reaping the harvest. So if you do decide you're going to do some sort of a clean out and sell some things that you're not using anymore, I feel like you're going to rack up some money doing that. I also get for somebody here, if you're doing some kind of side hustle, you're going to have a payoff with that as well. There's something big here in terms of a turning point with money. Now, if you do decide to take a new job or you're in the market, if you don't take one, I feel like you may get into a position into March where you're going to say, I'm going to have to. There's something about March where there's an ending coming in, but I'll tell you with February, I do feel like you have offers showing up here. Now, this Ten of Swords I mentioned, for some, it is an ending, but it's always in the tarot all about new beginnings. So I actually like that with the Eight of Swords. I feel like it's like time to quit playing around, you know, and the universe does things for us that we won't do for ourselves. It reminds me, years ago, if you've ever been to an Abraham Hicks workshop, you'll know what I'm talking about, or if you're just somewhat of an Abrahamster, they do this thing called the hot seat, where people in the audience raise their hand to get selected to talk with Abraham. And there was a woman in the hot seat who had lost her job, and she had worked there, I believe, for 8 years, and said, that Abraham asked, would you have ever quit that job, even though she hated it? And she said, no, I wouldn't have. And they said, well, that's why you lost it. You had a deep desire to do something else. Now, if this is relationships, you may have a turning point here that begins the rest of your life with a relationship. This is a very important ending because it's going to free you up if there's been something that's been holding you back in your life. I feel like March is going to be a great turning point. And I know this is your great turning point. You've got to be kidding me. Yes. And no, I'm not kidding you. But yes, you have a turning point here where I feel like you're finally going to be free of something. And whether you recognize it or not, that it's holding you back, it is. And so with this, you're going to move forward. You're going to move forward in a way that feels like true freedom, where you won't be keeping this idea alive in your mind that it's somehow coming back around or that it's somehow working out. I feel like there's something more for you. There's something better coming in. And I feel like you're right on the verge of finding it. Now, especially with money, the month of April is going to be fantastic. So this is where you get promotions, or if you're working for yourself, where you really say, I've got this. This is where everything comes to fruition for you. And look at the cards themselves. These are two very rich, layered cards, and they're covered. You see, there's nothing really blank here. There's not a lot of blank space in these two because they're all about abundance, prosperity. So those of you that are looking to move, the months of April, May, June, July are fantastic, but I'd also say September, October, and even into November, you've got equally great months ahead. More than half the year is going to be one of those times where you go, this couldn't be any better. It couldn't work out any better than this. Now, if you do move into a new job, I feel like you're going to have a lot more autonomy, where you're going to feel like you are your own boss. You don't have anybody over your shoulder or nagging or bureaucracy or things that just seem to hold you back. There's great freedom here. There's ambition too. And so with the energy of the Empress and the King of Pentacles for love, this is a time to meet a perfect match. This is where love walks in. Now you have Cancer, Taurus, Aquarius is here. Capricorn is here as well. We have here 6 major arcana. And so you have a significant number of major arcana, even though we do have quite a few cards here. I'd still say you have almost half of the cards are major arcana, and we know those are major life events. Now, her crown has 12 stars on it. So I do feel like they're saying this next cycle of 12 is going to be very important. The number 12 is represented here in the Hierophant's tiara. There's something great about those, isn't there? There's something really nice about this together. So I definitely feel like this will be a year of change, but it'll be a year to remember. So with the energy of the 9 of Cups showing up here in May, I do feel like you're going to have a lucky stroke or sequence of events here. This is very high vibrational. You're sitting pretty here. Now, if you're going to be in the market to buy a car, here's where you go vroom, vroom, and you say, this is the best car. You might even feel compelled to put it on social media. It's brimming with pride. Or you tend to make small trips and you say, oh God, I have to quit doing this. I know this isn't a great idea, but I just can't wait to drive this car. I love to take drives in this, that kind of thing. So anybody getting something new or thinking of this year as your year to buy something new, like a fairly good sized purchase. But it's also too with this, if you have travel plans, May would be a great time. May, June, July, especially if you're going to, if you're going to Europe or somewhere where that's a good season. Although some would say it gets hot there in the summer, but it gets hot everywhere in the summer. It's summer. And so with this 9 of Cups, though, this is really having that bucket list. And it also, too, I get on a smaller level, somebody going to a really fantastic concert. So if you have tickets for something, or you may even get tickets in the next quarter, it's that kind of energy where you say, oh my God, we had front row seats. It was so good. But I still feel like it'll be one of those times where you actually do want to post things about it. With this 9 of Cups, though, overall, it's a card of attainment. It's a card of wellness. It's a card of success and vigor. And so we said it's wish fulfillment, and it sure is. So you go into June here with this feeling of bliss. This is one of those times where it's better times ahead, where you are in flow with the universe. So you notice this too, this waterfall, how close these two look in terms of the water and the lines. That's all vibration. And so I do feel like you're going to be in flow here, but this is also too would be a great time to take a spiritual trip. If you have some kind of an opportunity to go to some sort of spiritual workshop or walk a labyrinth or go sit in a temple, this is it, okay? And if you are going on a trip where it's rich in history, it's one of those times where you might find that you don't want to photograph everything, that you want to be in that moment of thinking, God, people walked through these halls, or they stood in this spot where I'm standing now hundreds of years ago. I feel like somebody here has a life-changing spiritual awakening coming, and part of it has to do, as odd as this sounds, with the geography of it. But this is also too, these are cards of fertility, and they're definitely cards of love and finding a perfect match. So I feel like May, June, July are awesome months to meet somebody. Or if you're in a relationship, they're going to be months where you say, this is the one for me, no doubt about it. And so with the energy of the star, that's when your life comes alive. It's also too, though, an energy, and you have it here as well. This is into October, but this kind of energy where people around you feel your vibration and they cannot get enough of it. Where people around you say, I just want to be near you. You'll find that people ask you for your number, and it doesn't mean necessarily for a date, but I mean even people saying, I'd love to have coffee with you. I'd love to talk more. Let's go get together and watch a filming of a certain show or something like that. It just feels like you have nice times ahead here. But of course you have them again here. And we know that the sun, these wavy rays again, indicate high vibration. This is illumination of your life. Nothing is hidden anymore for you, Sagittarius. Everything is out in the light, and you're coming up solid. There's no second guessing here. This is complete synergy. So there's nothing in your life where you look at it and say, how did I get here? In terms of a relationship, I do see you as having nice aspects to travel over the summer. So if you're single now and you meet somebody, you might find that you're quickly going on the road with them and seeing what they're like. Why not? I mean, there's no point in waiting until you're into a relationship a long time and then trying things out. And it reminds me a little bit of a documentary that I think was on Netflix where this couple met and went to Costa Rica 3 years ago, almost 4 now, and the whole world shut down. Have you ever seen that one? And they ended up sustaining that relationship, but what a wild ride. I definitely feel like in a relationship, you have a lot of romance coming in. I keep hearing that wild ride, but it feels exciting. It doesn't feel out of control. It feels like two people who have resources, who are going somewhere and want to just enjoy each other's company. So with this energy of the sun, it's gains, it's riches, and it is an exhilarating time in your life. This is one of the happiest cards of the deck. So if you have anything planned in July, it's going to be fantastic. So you have here into August, this 5 of Pentacles energy. I still feel like you may move on here, but it's still with a partner. So there could be a minor falling out, or it even could be if you have a relationship that gets started, your partner changing jobs, or even the two of you, if you're in a relationship, changing somewhere that you like. And I know this sounds trivial, but if you have a favorite spot, even the place where you had your first date, something like that closing, or your gym, or you say our corner market, or somewhere where we take the dog for grooming, something like that. I do feel like it's not a key player, okay? This is not a major shift, but I do feel like you're going to have a shift in something that you've come to just consider part of your life. So I feel like in August, you're going to move forward. You're going to find other things. So, I mean, again, nature abhors a vacuum. So you don't ever just leave a hole. And so you have another 5 here, by the way, especially when you get these two together. The Hierophant, it goes, the Empress, the Emperor, then the Hierophant. I feel like we're missing our Emperor, but that's all right. Maybe that represents you on some level, even though it is Aries energy. Look, this is bringing everything together. September, October, November, I'm telling you, are going to be fantastic. This is a partner for life. I mentioned, too, they both wear these beautiful crowns that represent the number 12. 3, 7, 12 are going to be important for you. So it could be, again, we mentioned the number 3, the month of March here, maybe a turning point, 3, 7, and then 12, of course, we get back over into here with the Devil energy. But I still feel like with this energy, it's about moving forward and feeling protected too. So any changes, I'd say embrace them. I'd say lighten up and go for it. Because with the Chariot in October, this is another card of travel and relocating. So you might find yourself relocating this year. But I still feel like you have nice aspects for travel too. This is law of attraction energy. The Chariot is like throwing up your cap on graduation day. It is achievement at its fullest. I love to see the Chariot and the outcome. So I definitely will tell you that within the months of October, it's going to be great. And you may have, too, a reunion coming in with somebody who's moved away. There's somebody that wants to come back, and it might not be romantic, but they want to at least make contact with you. So with this Chariot energy, I do feel like you're going to have people reaching out and connecting with you from the past. Again, there's nothing to fear there. With the Ace of Cups, your life is going to be overflowing in November with love, with plans. I also see that somebody here may take a trip at the turn of the year, around between the 24th and the 25th. But I definitely feel like with this, you have opportunities and you have a relationship here that is going to evolve and grow. You're going to find that the two of you are a perfect pair. The two of you, again, that travel thing keeps coming in. You're not going to want to go away without each other. It just won't be fun, is what I get. And so with the Devil energy, this is when we leave behind old patterns. This can also be tied to the material as well. So I would say, because you have money coming in this year, Sagittarius, be a little careful not to overindulge with this Devil energy. And I know this is a whole year away, but I just say watch out a little bit that we don't tip too far, because you can go from the Empress, because she's very indulgent. Okay, this is like the charcuterie board of the year. This is doing too much of that. So you've got to be a bit careful. I think they are trying to caution you on that. But either way, you have a beautiful year ahead. So let's see now what the Whispers of Love want to tell you about love. For Sagittarius, you have the Union of Hearts. A love connection defies explanation. And then we're going to take a Fortune Oracle already shuffled. And you have the Sun. Okay, you've got double Sun now. That's important. And the sunflowers are symbols of finding a match. Open your heart to the enormous growth ahead. Good things are on the way for you, Sagittarius. I love you, and I'll be back again soon.